Welcome to the podcast of our Exile Project, an initiative co-funded by the European Union bringing together universities, organizations, and communities to create innovative educational solutions and support systems for students in crisis situations. Through our stories and inspirations, we aim to build a more inclusive and supportive academic environment. Tune in and join us.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. My name is Pablo, and today I'm here with Tea and João, former students from the Exiled Student Support Programme 2. So today we are going to talk about this program, what kind of support it offers to exiled students, and especially what happened after students finish the programs. The Exiled Student Support Programme is divided into three main parts that follow the different stages of the student's journey. So the first one is focused on students arriving at the university. The second part is focused on students during their time at the university. The last part, which is we are going to focus today, it concerns students leaving the university. Let's start by talking about your experience with the programs.
So, hello everyone, my name is Tea and I have been a student also at UPastoral together with Pablo and Joao. So, after hearing about this program, my first honest reaction is that it's a great and meaningful initiative. And it's really important because it recognizes that as students in exile, we have often a strong potential and a very strong academic background. And it really supports us to build especially skills in French language, but also knowledge on the French market and how things work around there. I don't know what you think about it, Joao.
Hello everyone, I am João. I came from Angola. I was also a student of DUP program. As Thea said, my reaction also was positive because the DUP helps students to learn French, principally foreign students. So I think the program was really well organized, and it helped us really to learn English and to understand how do university here in France work. So my reaction was totally very, very positive about that.
Thank you very much, João. So maybe we can pass with the second question, which is, does this program sound realistic to you guys, or does it feel more theoretical? And why?
I would say that it sounds quite realistic, especially because it focuses on the practical aspects like language learning and university integration after the DUP pastoral. Nevertheless, I'd say like the real challenge, as you mentioned earlier, Pablo, relies on what comes after studies. And once we are done with the studies, the real challenge is to integrate in the real job market and build professional networks. I would also add the fact that we mainly in the classroom, we are all Excel students. We didn't have a representation of French students, and that sometimes comes with a shock afterwards. And there are still some difficulties on French language even after the program. That's for sure, and that's a real challenge, I believe.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because it was almost the same for me. Sometimes teacher they don't have the time to explain to you carefully something, specifically when you are in some subjects, some topics of the master degree of their programs. They don't have the time. So, well, maybe this will help us to pass to the main point of this. It is for you, what is the most important things, or how do you criticize these programs to improve for the next generation who are taking the exile programs, DUP? How can be improved for you?
But for me, as I said, I think it would be a good idea to group Excel students with other students as well, not only leave Excel students among them. So that would make them have like also another view and another feeling, not only of French culture, but also like way of communication, way of doing classes. It's true, we had one or two classes prep for universities, but I don't think that was enough to prepare us for university integration. And I would put emphasis on like preparation for landing maybe like a stage, an internship, or like a practical course to land to how to apply to university and how to improve further our skills.
Okay, that's a very good point that they figured out. We need also to have a contact during the program with another French student so that we can improve and practice our French. Although we have been doing that only with us as a foreigner students, but there is a need also to have a contact with French students. And I would like also to add too many aspects. I don't know if DUP direction they do it. First of all is I think DUP they need to understand the asylum process. I don't know if they do that. If they don't do that, I think it is important for them to understand how does the asylum process works, because all of us as a student of DUP, we are in asylum process. Sometimes we face difficulties, we face problems. It is important for them as a direction to know that. Second, in addition to that, there is a need to have a psychologist, to have a psychologist to help students that they are learning French as a foreign language. Why did I point out it? We had students that faced many difficult problems, and these problems sometimes can impact the way they will learn French, can be a barrier for them. So if the university knows how the asylum process works, and we have a psychologist that comes for instance once by week, it can be also important for them. And these psychologists also can help students in problems like students that are facing problems, they don't speak language. That's the first barrier. The second, they are alone. Most of asylum students, they are refugee or they are in asylum process, they are alone. They have to struggle 10, 10, 10 times place than French people, student French people does. That's why I think these two aspects for me is very relevant. I don't know, what do you think, Taya?
I think there are very good points, and yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, maybe I can add to these comments. I almost think the same that you, but I think the time, about the time. I mean, when we are in the DUP, it's not possible to get in touch, I would say it like that, with all the culture, French culture, in 2 semesters. I mean, it is almost 800 hours, the 2 semester. For me, it's not enough, because as an student with an exiled background, and with the I will say with the problems with the language, it's not possible to learn in 2 semesters the language, the culture, the administrative part of the university is not possible. For me, is not enough, because the pyramid is basically there are 3 points: the arriving part, the relinking part, which is basically the person who is coaching you during the parents, and the third one is to empower students. That means you are out of the parents, you are ready to get the next step, but it's not possible, like you said before.
I do agree. It's quite short to do like we did B1 and B2 in a year, like 2 semesters. I also felt like it was done real fast, and if I had the time, I could like speak French more academically. But yeah, I agree with that point. It's a good point.
Yeah, because when you get out of the parents, I stayed in the parents because I didn't find the master degree that I wanted to do. So it it helped me a lot when I was in the C1s. I learn more things about this. For example, how to do a research paper in French, because we get some ideas. We know how to do that, but in our own language, not in French. Even in English, but not in French. So maybe that would be a key point to improve to these parents. So I don't know what you think about that, Joao.
Yeah, that's true what you are saying. I think the program is really short, as they said, and 1 year is not enough. Principally, when you have B2, you go to university. There are a lot of things you didn't learn, so you should learn it before you come to university. Principally, how to search, how to write 500 text in French, which is totally different. In French classes, they used to ask you 30 or 50 words. Now university they ask you 500 words. So that I think the program should be more interesting and improve it more. And also to why we don't have a C1 in DUP. I think that is another point also we need to think about why we don't have C1. It should be very important because a student B2 and C1, the program is totally different. And the university guide us just only B2 and tell us to go to university. And there exists also C1. Students that are learning C1, I think they are in better position comparing to students that are in B2. I don't know what you think about that.
To my opinion, we have a B2 level, but I don't think it's an advanced B2. It's like more than intermediary B2 level. That's my feeling. And I totally agree. More time and more interesting, or maybe more time dedicated to writing, especially, would be very helpful. I had also one other point. I was speaking with some other friends from DUP Pastoral, and they told me that when they were applying for nationality here in France, they did not recognize the program, so they had to give another exam, which is DELF. And I think that doesn't actually make sense to me because DUP Pastoral is a program offered by a public French university. So I think there is a work to do to getting that recognized from the state. I think it'd be really helpful.
Yeah. After these programs, you have a diploma, but the diploma is not totally recognized from some institution.
I would also like to end it in a note that despite we talked about what can be better, but we also, I think we didn't mention enough the fact that it's a huge and great starting point. And I would like also to greatly appreciate our professors because they really helped us. They were really kind with us, and they gave us like a very welcoming feeling on friends, and a lot of encouragements to continue our studies.
Yes. Yeah, you're right there. And I think the program was very well organized, very well planned, and it helps really the students to learn French. And we need to focus on that and to say that. And I should also like to say thank you to all our teachers. They were more than teachers for us because most of them were free to talk about everything, and sometimes they stop to help us. I mentioned the need of having a psychologist because I felt most of our teachers they were more than teachers. They have done more than what they have to do, and thank you for that. And I think the program must continue in helping other students, and it is also important to guide students after DUP. I think we are a little bit, they forget us. I think you are gone, and that's all. I think the university should also call all these students, try to organize a program to call the student to see how they are going, to ask them what have been doing and all these things. And thank
Yeah, I would add to that maybe also like a following up program to the UP Pastoral, for example, that helps the students get a stage or an internship, like the real life experience, the practical experience that Joao was speaking about, and we were discussing with Pablo.
Yeah, I think that it will be important for me to get connection with the French students because sometimes when you are in a new environment, we understand very well because we are foreign. We are different culture and we are almost in the same situation. But when we are in a group of people and everyone is French, sometimes it's complicated to get into this kind of groups because they are their life, they don't have the kind of problems we have, and sometimes they don't understand too. So maybe it will be important to get connection as well, but with the French students. I don't know.
principally connection with the ex-students, the students that are no longer in DUP program, and also activities with French student here at university. It will help to improve our way of speaking English, to see how much we progress in French because we are no longer here. Do our teacher know how do we speak French now? It is also important sometimes to see how now you were in B2. Now your way of speaking is more than B2. Yeah, so it should be fantastic also to organize this kind of event. I think we'll do that. With 3, we are going to organize that.
For sure.
Yeah. But there's something that you forgot to say. It is about once we are in the last step of this program, it will be important that the teachers or the responsible of the DUB get the students from the exile programs to programs. For instance, if you want to do a bachelor degree in business, it will be important. It will be actually will be great if the teacher take the students from the exile programs to the real life.
Yeah. I didn't mention it, but I spoke about realistic French program. That's you mean. The idea is during the program, students that are interested in logistics and transport, for instance, they can go to university, Lyon University, and stay there one day to observe the classes with a French student and to see the teachers. How does it work? Maybe what they are thinking in real life is not what happens. So they should take the student, marketing student, for instance, we take 5 students, we go to a marketing class, even 5 hours or one day. So they stay there, they observe the class, if they want, they can participate, of course, so that the direction of the course, they need to allow us to do that. But I think if DUP direction they ask, maybe they can do that. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, it's more like a French student for a day initiative.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's totally doable and a great idea.
All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for your participation.